Okay. Okay, okay, guys. Let me see. Hopefully you have everything up and running. Let's go check the website, check the community, just to make sure. Okay, okay, guys. Let's keep myself muted. Okay. So, yeah, let me see. If there's anybody in the YouTube or the community channel and you can hear me, just let me know. If you can hear me loud and clear, hopefully it's clear. And if not, just let me know if it sounds really muffled or anything like that. I'll try and make it a wee bit better. Okay. And also the Discord as well. I've got that open in case anybody's looking to get through the Discord. So I'm just going to give it another wee minute or two because I know there was a couple of others who are wanting to join, but they said they might be a little bit late. So I'm just going to give it another minute. And I just want to make sure that I have everything ready for you guys as well. And we're good to go. So it's going to be an interesting one, I think. This is the first time I've been doing this where it's practice with me. Usually it's obviously I just practice and, by myself, and I've never really shown anyone what I, would do when I'm learning a new tune. So I thought it might be interesting to show some of you guys the programs I use, the software I use, the resources that I use. That's what it's going to be about. And if you have any questions about it, if you want to know where to find it or how to use any of this stuff, do let me know. Yeah, it's actually, if I can use it, anyone can use it. Okay. So let's see how we get on with this. If I'm able to share my screen with you guys too. Oh, good. Yes, I can. Yeah. The saved reels is where I'm going to here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to go into my reels. I'm going to show you guys where I'm getting all this stuff as well. Just taking a wee minute to load. Actually, perfect. Okay, let's see if I can swap over screens here and show you guys what I'll be looking at. Okay. So this is a fiddle player from Canada, I believe, Olivia Barrett. Fantastic fiddle player. You guys should definitely check out her channel. I think I actually have linked it down in the description, and also her album as well. I bought her album, so the link again is down there in the description. So do check out her channel because she's got hundreds of tunes like this, and it's perfect for you guys who are like going to be learning bouzouki or guitar, anything to do with accompaniment and Irish traditional music. Because it's rare that you get somebody who's playing on their own clear and you can actually hear the melody. Usually when they're playing, they do what I sometimes, most of the time, what I do in my streams is I've got like Byron in the background or Bouzouki in the background, and then me playing whistle as well. So it's nice to actually have just the instrument kind of on its own. And there's actually some, I think she actually does the chords in the background as well, so that can help. So fantastic tune. This is Hanley's Tweed. I actually sent her the notation that I did for this, and I'll show you guys how I went about learning this and the software that I used and everything. But I just want to keep an eye out on the community when I'm doing this, because I'm sort of know that I may miss a few of you guys who may write comments or anything. So do let me know if you're putting anything into the comment section there. I'm just going to double check in the community as well, because for the next 10 minutes I reckon it's just going to be me talking and playing. Okay, and I'm also going to check, I just put this back to my face for a second. I'm just going to check the Discord to see if that's going. Oh, it is. Okay, radio. So anyone who's in the Discord, if you're part of the channel, the Bouzouki channel, you should be able to talk in it, hopefully, if you want to. Okay, radio. Let's go back. Okay, so I want to listen to this a few times just to sort of get used to the tune. Number one thing about learning, of course, music is the ear, listening to it first of all, get an idea for the feel for it, the speed for it, the key that it could be in, and I'll show you guys all the sort of tricks that I get up to do this. So the first thing to do is obviously listen, so let's listen along. Hopefully you guys can hear this as well. Here it goes. Okay, so yeah, that's great tune. Fiddle playing a reel there, and it sounds like it's in an unusual key for Bouzouki players. I think it's a little bit lower than what we're used to, but that's what I like about it, is like it's unusual key. So the first thing that I did when I was learning this is I have a couple of programs that I use, which are down here at the bottom underneath my screen. I'm just going to open up one. It's called Audio Hijack. Now, what Audio Hijack does, for any of you guys who use Rogue Amoebas, we'll have to update this thing at some stage. It allows you to record the audio or extract the audio out of something. So I took the audio out of this so I could manipulate it and actually hear the key, and then sent it off to Olivia to see, like, here it is, the notation if you ever wanted it. So this is what I did for her recording, and this is what came out. I think it was this one. Yeah. So it's exactly the same audio. Now, if I was listening to that, say in a pub or in a session, the first thing I would be trying to do is to hear like a sort of like a drone sort of effect. And I'm going to demonstrate that to you guys as well. So again, I'm hoping that the audio works this week, because this is where it all went haywire last week. And I might just move this over to Bouzouki. Let me see. Maybe zoom in a wee smidgen. Hopefully you guys can see that. I wonder if that's a better angle actually. I might just move the zoom in a wee bit and just go down a wee bit. Maybe a bit over. Okay. It's mostly this hand that I want you guys to be getting anyway. Okay, and make sure that you can actually hear me speaking as well. Okie doke. So when she's playing that tune, that's the note I'm looking for. So you've got to like find the drone. find the tonic. That's the sort of technical name for it, is the tonic, or if you're thinking of like a tonic drone or pedal, it's sometimes called a pedal note. So if you're looking for that, da, and the way that I find that on the bouzouki would be to go, it's there. Okay, so for this particular tune, the way she's playing it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frets. Okay, so that's an unusual place for bouzouki players. Usually we put our capo on the 5th or on the 7th frequently, like if we're in like maybe the key of G or something, or the key of A, but to have it in there in between, so like the key maybe of like G sharp or A flat. Da, da, da. So, and the tuning for me has gone wild. Hold on. It's gone a wee bit sharp, but you know what? That's just the heat in the room. Okay, so I'm just going to check my levels here to make sure that you guys can hear that as well. So let me see if I've got the pickup going. Yeah, that's the sort of sound there. And when I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, okay, I want to be putting the capo there just to see if I can figure out what the chords are. So as I was listening to her play, I'm always thinking, what is just the chord 1, just to strum along to? And if I can find that on the bouzouki, like on the top 3 strings, of course is 1, 2, and 3, that's 50% of the battle already. You're found the key. So that's where I know I'm going to put the capo for this. It's not where it's going to end up at the end of the session, but that's where we're starting. So... And then the standard thing for tab is to count everything now up from the capo. So there are now going to be 7 frets up from that in the key of G sharp or A flat or something. Maybe it's like, I know it's in a mode. Maybe it's like an Aeolian mode or something. So it's the same as if you were doing it in A. Listen to that lovely tuning. Jeez. Go. I'm not going to bother tuning it again, guys, because this goes out of tune every like 5 minutes. Just the heat and the lights in the room. So that's where we are, and I'm going to see if I can practice along. Just get a rhythm, just get a tonic going with that tune. So there's a couple of wee extra chords that I was messing around with there. Okay, and I'm just, as I say, every so often, I'll just have a wee check-in just to see if anyone has left a comment about tuning or anything. Hopefully this is now working. Yeah. And checking the Discord as well, guys. Oh, good. Radio. Okay, let's see. It's weird, there's 3 different places. Some people are watching it on the community, and some people are watching it on Discord, so this is a bit unusual. I have to checking all these different things. Okay. It's going to make it a bit smaller. Rightio, so that is the start of what we're looking for there. Again, I'm just going to play it. I'll probably share the audio while I do this, just so you guys can hear it in the background. I'm not too sure of the levels. If you think the fiddle is too loud or I'm too quiet or what, vice versa, let me know. Okay, so here's the tune again. I'm just actually going to put it on loop for a wee minute. There we go. Let's play it through a couple of times. So what we have there, I still haven't really figured out the proper chords to that, but what I'm listening to there is the that happens quite a bit in this tune where you're going. So for me as a bouzouki player, or just as an accompaniment instrument, even if I was doing this on the guitar, it'd be the same thing. I'd be trying to find in the tune, when I'm listening out for it very carefully, where does that change occur between the tonic chord 1, and I suppose chord 7, or the subtonic chord for modal. And just because I'm starting off learning this tune, I would probably want to maybe not worry too much about holding that finger down to get the sort of, you know, power chord there. I'm just letting those top 2 notes drone a wee bit. So anytime I'm in like the sort of modal, like a Aeolian mode or a Dorian mode, I've already got in my mind for every single tune, regardless if it's a jig, reel, polka, hornpipe, or whatever, a sort of, you know, set chord progression or a couple of chords, or I know where my chords like to go. I know that chord likes to go there. Sometimes it likes to go to like a weird chord underneath where you're moving. And if I actually bring up I'll bring up the little things so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about, the fretboard here. There we go. Oh, it's on 3. I don't want it on 3. I want it on 3, 4, 5. I want it there. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's analyzing this as G sharp, D sharp, and G sharp. In my mind, it's more like the flats, but yeah, doesn't really matter. In harmonics, guys, G sharp is a flat, so it shouldn't really worry too much about this one. But if I was to play that, that chord, which is a little bit further up, it's like 1 fret above, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you got F sharp, C sharp, F sharp. So it's like a F sharp power chord. I sometimes don't bother with that F sharp. Just leave it as a D sharp. Or I suppose leave E flat if you want to think of it as E flat and A flat, rather than D sharp and G sharp. So some tunes just like moving back a lot, like there's a lot of that in trad music, moving between those two. So if I just scroll up a wee bit further, I just don't want to lose. Yeah, hopefully I'm not losing the fret. Let me know if you guys, if I go past that, okay? Because on my screen it looks a wee bit different. So hopefully you guys can still see the capo is here on the 6th fret. If I was to move on up a wee bit and just put that back, it's like a G sharp power chord, and you can even see in this app that they've got the A flat next to it. That's the way I would, think of it in terms of flats. It's glass half full or empty, I suppose. So moving between him on the 13th fret and this guy, that's most of the heavy work for these types of tunes. Reels, jigs, doesn't matter. And sometimes you may want to hammer on between one and the other. Dum. So that da-dum is this. And if I move him down, that F, it's a weird. Don't worry about the jargon up here, guys. This is C sharp add 9 over an F. It's not jazz harmony we're dealing with here. It's just get used to these shapes is more important than working out. I can go through this with my grade 8 theory students and analyze the hell out of all these tunes, but I don't bother. Okay, you do not need to know this when you're playing trad music. You do need to know it if you're doing theory exams and stuff. So if you ever want to do that stuff, let me know. There's not many people who do. So that hopefully does work. Doo-dum. Okie dokie. So that's the first part. It's just getting that feel. So let's play through it again. Now that we know we found the where to put the capo, now we know that we're in G sharp A flat sort of something. Okay, G sharp A flat territory, and we know that it's not exactly minor, it's modal. We now know that we're moving between this and that chord quite a bit. If I could zoom in, maybe that might make it a lot easier for you guys to actually see this. If it's not good, let me know. But I'm just going to try zooming in a wee bit more. I don't want to move too much because now I have to be very careful where how much I move. So that's where I'm starting. Okay. Or I could do it from there. Okay, so like 7 frets up from the capo. Capo's on 6. My finger is the 7th fret above that. So like the 13th fret. And then, yeah, those two going down. Now, all I've done there is the chord that you see here. If I actually play that, it's probably quite loud. It's coming through my headphones, deafening. Hopefully it's not deafening you guys. That's the chord that we're playing here. And I move between that. Oh, listen to the lovely tuning. Oh, it's going way out now. I move between those two quite fast. Just by moving to my index finger and my second finger. And then take it off entirely. So if I slowed it all the way down, this is like what I have in my head. Yeah, actually should probably keep that scale in mind. So if you wanted to do like sort of a counter melody, you're going to be using and maybe going down to that every so often. Da-dum. So those are the chords I'll be aiming for as I'm listening through this. So see if you guys can follow along with the chords I'm going to be playing here. I will be getting another camera set up for my other hand down here. So you guys will be able to have like 2 pictures and see like one hand moving. I think it's just a little bit limiting, you know, having one webcam. So I'm going to definitely need another one for this. So let's have a wee listen just from the start again and focus on those chords so far. it may be going out of tune a wee bit, but it'll hopefully be staying in tune of itself at least. Okay, so let's go back to main pick. There we go. There I am, and maybe just zoom in a wee bit more on the bouzouki. Okay, so really what we have there, guys, is like the skeleton of the chord progressions, and also we haven't even bothered looking at you know, things like counter melodies or anything. I do not do that until I have a very firm idea of what the main chords are. Okay, now if I go back to my desktop screen just to show you guys what I'm looking at here, this is what I've been playing over and over. Okay, this has been Olivia's fiddle playing. Okay, so very handy to sort of practice along to. And do, of course, check out the link to the original thing, you know, so hopefully I'm not butchering it too badly on the channel. But do go to her channel and listen to the original and practice with that on the 6th capo. But what I'm going to do when I sort of introduce this to my students is I'm going to move it all down, or maybe all up. One way or the other, probably up, but to keep it in like an A minor sort of sound. How do I do that? How do I sort of practice now with Olivia's playing, given that she's going to be in a different key to me? Well, there's another app that I use. There's an app for that. The one that I use is Pitch Switch. Now, Pitch Switch, guys, it is a paid app, but I think it's pay once, own forever. At least it was when I've got it. Do check it out online. Pitch Switch. I think it was something like 47 quid when I first got it, which is expensive enough, but when you look at what it can do, it is a bargain, you know, compared to some apps that are out there. All you need to do is to drag your file into this. So if I was to bring up where I've kept this file on my computer, let me see. Yeah, here is, I think, yeah, this is the original here. If I was to drag that in just like this and just let go, there we go. Pitch Switch, Hanley's Tweed, reel by Paddy O'Brien. So what you can do in this is you can change the pitch, you can change the tempo, which is really handy. And you can also even mess around with the EQ level a wee bit. So if I just press play, I want to make it higher. There we go. Okay, so if I go back just to my main pick, just to show you what I'm doing here. Actually, I'll go back to the bouzouki one. So here's the bouzouki one. I've now moved the capo from that 6th fret to the 7th fret to keep it in line of what most of the tunes I'd be playing that are in A Dorian, I think, or A Aeolian. It's hard enough to say that. Yeah, so we're in the Aeolian mode. Yeah. So that is basically our A power chord now up here. And it looks exactly the same as without the capo as if you were playing D power chord. So I know some students will still call it, just like when you swap between tin whistles, some students will still call holding all 6 fingers down, they'll still think of it as D in their head, even though it may be B flat or C that comes out. It's the same thing for some students who are doing bouzouki playing. They still think of this as D after they added the capo. But of course, what's coming out is, if we add the thing here and then play the, whoops, there's where we are, 7 frets above. So those are the notes that you actually hear are A, E, A. Okay, so yeah, be aware that there's then, this is the standard sort of key to be in, but you are going to have players, like especially players who are accomplished and, you know, they've released albums and, you know, they know their instrument inside out. They're going to be playing in more advanced keys than the ones that you or I would be used to. So like going between the frets is quite normal, especially for fiddle. And there's other instruments. Even banjo does it quite a bit as well. There's certain tunes that I would, as a whistle, flute, and uilleann pipe player, I would not be able to play because their tuning is just more advanced than what I can handle. But for you guys who are playing bouzouki or a guitar, you should be able to figure it out. Okay, and it's up to you on the day. Don't put the pressure on the performers. And what key are we in? That's a little tip for anyone who's in a session, especially when the person's playing. You know, don't try and make eye contact and ask them key. You know, they're concentrating on playing on the tune. It's up to you to sort of listen out and try and find the tonic. So if we go back to the desktop and listen to the original, here's the original again. This is what Olivia was playing on her Facebook reel, which is capo down. Okay, so that's the original. Here's what happened when we put it in here and we just moved it up a semitone. You're literally moving up a semitone. You're moving it up a fret on your guitar or on your bouzouki. So. And of course, if you want to slow it down, be aware, I usually never go lower than, say, 70% or something, because it does start to quite badly warp. So if I slow it down just to let you guys hear it, is there any way I could zoom in? Maybe not. Just to let you hear how it's beginning to sort of get a bit weird in its sounding. Here we go. Now that's what I would do if I'm learning the tune, especially for tin whistle or something. You know, I would slow it down if the performer doesn't have like a copy of it, or, you know, if they're not sure, you know, what the notation or the notes are, and especially if they're playing in a completely different key, there's not much point in you bothering them for the notes, because they're going to give you the notes that you may not be able to play. If I was trying to learn this tune, just realized that I might have to be here. If I was trying to learn this tune, on the tin whistle from the original sound, it probably would be on a very unusual tuning or a very weird whistle I would need to get. But if I moved it up into the standard, which is, you know, capo going up one more fret, I can easily play that on the D whistle. Well, not easily, you have to learn it. But I'll show you what it looks like when I've moved this over or moved this up into a new key. I was able to put this into MuseScore, again, another free notation program for any of you guys who are interested in this stuff. And I was able to, if I open this, hopefully it actually does open. Is it not going to open? Oh, it is open. Okay. It's down here. Radio. I can zoom in on this though. So this is the new tune, or the tune that's been transposed up a fret, up a semitone, into A. That's me playing it back just on the MuseScore playback there. So yeah, that's the tune that I would learn on the whistle. The stuff, if you're wondering why is this in red, that's little variations that I was trying to listen out to Olivia's playing and think, right, I like the way she's doing this little part here. You know, maybe the first time around she's following the blue, and then the second time around she plays it, she's doing like another different variation. So you can see how many times she's put in variations, like once, or how many times I've able to find variations. She's probably put in a heck of a lot more than that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different places. And that's just from one playing, because I think she did it as a reel, as a short. And you're playing the A section once and then the B section, or you're playing the A section and then repeat the A section, and then you're playing the B section and repeat the B section, and then that was it. It's about 40-50 seconds and that's it. So you can imagine if she's playing that tune 3 times, not just once through, 3 times, AABB, 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 she could have like dozens of variations in there. So I wouldn't get them all. I'm just looking to get the ones that, you know, stuck out for me, and the ones that I could easily play on the whistle. So here's the 124%. Yeah, you can really mess around with these things, guys, to see how fast does it go. Yeah. Good thing about this program as well is that it allows you to sort of, you know, take different positions in it. You know, I just want to hear like this little section over and over and just loop it. So this is why I love Pitch Switch, because you can easily learn tunes off this just by ear. You can slow it down, change the key, change the actual EQ levels as well if you want to bring out more bass or less treble or whatever, and then save it as all those edits. So you don't have to go in and redo it every time. You just go back to what you were saving. It's compared to the way I was learning, you know, from tape recorder back in the day. It's, you can see how far on it's come for learning new tunes. So the only thing I really use it for is changing the key, maybe a semitone here or there, and slowing it down to maybe 70% just to learn the tune on a tin whistle or something. But as I say, check out the original. Like, of course, none of this does any justice to her playing on her actual Facebook account. So go over and check out her Facebook account and her album as well. And it's obviously a thousand times better than this, because when you start slowing it down and changing the tuning, it's nowhere near as nice as the original. Here's the original again. So much nicer and brighter, you know, so more authentic, more warmer than what I was doing with all this. Yeah, so those are the 3 programs, guys, for my learning, and I will be sort of touching on them, you know, every week, just a wee bit here and there. But yeah, so the first one was Audio Hijack, which is just to get the audio to actually hear it, and then there it is as a wee file. The second thing is putting it into Pitch Switch so I can change the key and then slow it down if I want to learn it. And then the third thing is putting it into notation. And I asked Olivia just what is the actual name of this, because I've never heard it before, but it's a bloody great tune. It's a great reel. And yeah, that's where I put it now. So for any of my whistle students, you know, I would give them something that's like this, or maybe a wee bit, you know, with an actual tin whistle fingering, or maybe the ABC notation underneath or something, you know. So yeah, 3 things: Audio Hijack, Pitch Switch, and MuseScore, which MuseScore's free. This last one, you don't have to pay anything for it. If you're wondering as well, guys, what is the other thing that I'm using there, just to sort of display, if I go back to Bouzouki, just to display the fretboard. This is an app called Reverse Chord. Again, if you do a Google search for Reverse Chord app, don't know if it's available in other platforms. Obviously, it's available on iOS and Mac. You know, that's the main thing for this, I think, for the guys who made it. Very handy, and you can put as many strings, I think up to 12 strings, and different and whatever tuning that you want. So obviously, I only have 4 strings for, you know, 2 for each. Well, doubled course, if you think of it like that's the 4th course, with two strings are meant to be there. 2 strings for the 3rd course, 2 strings for the 2nd course, and 2 strings for the 1st course. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a, you know, a display like that for Bouzouki, but it's handy enough, and it does all the analysis for you as well. You can also change all the letters to numbers to let you see what fret you're on. So sometimes I might go in and do that, like, you know, see the way I just click this button and it's now saying flat and 7th, or, you know, the 5th, or whatever, or just put it back to the note. So yeah, there's loads of things you can do with that as well. I'm not too sure how much that was, guys, but it is paid, because it's that'll put quite a bit of effort into these apps. Okay, so let's get back to the chin, I think. I'm gonna mess around with this now in the Aeolian mode. Okay, so I'm more familiar with this mode now. And I'll switch over to maybe this and zoom in a wee bit more. And maybe down a wee bit. I gotta love the gimbal on these new webcams. I think that should be okay for you guys. Maybe just about to make out my right hand. Okay. The other nice thing about playing up here, guys, is it allows a nice little ornamentations. Like if you're doing like hammer off rolls. It's kind of nice. I think in the A minor, it has a nice sound. So if we just go through this, the D, or not D, the A chord. You got your G there, I suppose. G power chord. Now this one is a bit unusual. This is going to be your F. It's me on the piano. F power chord. That's going to be your D minor. E power chord. And then back to your A. So A, B, F, D minor, E power chord. So you've got your power chord, power chord, power chord, which is your A, G, F, your D minor, and your E power chord. And that's really all that you need for this, as your basic chords to accompany this tune. You can, of course, put in little variations. So instead of having your power chord up here for A, you can put it down here on the 2nd fret, 4th course, and on the 3rd fret, 1st course. So it's like A minor chord, but you know, inverted. And I always tend to do, well, not always, but tend to do that on the 1st course between those 2 fingers. And sometimes even just moving between. And there's your G minor, or your D minor chord. On the little pinky there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets up. So these are all variations rather than just doing. And that's a very standard little run. There's nothing wrong with it, aside from the tuning. But you may want to do. You know, like different. It's the same chords, but you're doing it down here instead. Okay, so instead of going. You're going. listen. Turn it down a wee bit. Now let's just put it on the loop so we don't miss. Here we go. Okay, so I've got a very good idea now. If I just go back to like our main sort of focus there, got a very good idea of what the basic chords are, what the basic rhythms are. That's the sort of first, part that when it comes to learning a new tune, I want to make sure that I can do it in a key that I know, I'd be able to sort of teach to as well to students, but also be able to do it in the original key. So I would go back and forth. There's nothing wrong with having actually nice sometimes having the keys that are not usually played in Irish traditional music, like usually a semitone out either way. Dervish do a lot of that, and that was one of my favorite groups, like Dervish and Solus and Lunasol, these guys who are still going actually, and a lot of their albums, over the years, their tuning has gotten very it's unique in some cases, but Dervish I were playing in keys I could never play in, and that's because a lot of the fiddle and the accordion stuff and banjo stuff for Solus were just way out of the tuning that I could do on the whistle or pipes. But don't you be afraid to try it. Unless you're playing with a whistle player or flute player, just stick to the standard tunings for them if you're accompanying them. But if you're accompanying like an accordion or a fiddle, you may be having to keep an eye out or keep an ear out for some of these more unusual tunings in between the frets or in between the normal keys. So the normal places for me, the 5th fret and the 7th fret, but that tune that we were just doing there was right there in between them. Okay, so it allows the strings to be a wee bit more resonant. You can get a bit more volume from that, whereas when you put it up into another fret, strings get a wee bit tighter. So it might be nicer to do some counterpoint or counter melodies. Now the way that I would do a lot of that is I would have the tune in front of me. So I'm just going to open it up here in I'll get it out of the way of the app so you can actually keep an eye out for any tuning that I'm doing that's unusual. Yeah. Okay, so ba ba bum 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 da 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 dum. So we're getting to that G halfway through the second bar. You can do a lot of hammer-ons like you would normally do in D. before I need to change chord. Da, 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's on the 7th beat into the tune. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can aim for that to be 7 beats in, or I can aim to actually play the chord. So I'm going to zoom in just on my fretboard so you guys can see what I'm sort of messing around with here. Let me see if I zoom in a wee bit, move down a wee bit, and zoom in a wee bit more, move over a wee bit. Okay, that's about as far as I want to be, isn't it? Yeah. Now make sure that you're comfortable when you're doing your sort of finger counter melodies, that you're comfortable with the down, 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 up. Or there's some students who are saying to me they do it the other way around. That's fine. As long as you've got like some sort of ostinato, like some sort of riff, some sort of pattern that just keeps repeating. Now that's this completely open string. I'm not doing anything at all with the left hand. Or just arpeggiating that. Da 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 da. This is where you can put your hammer-ons quite a bit in this tune. I'm just messing around with the scales at this point. Yeah. Da 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 dum da 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 dum. Nope. Yeah, so a couple of wee ideas there. It's all based around that. This is why it's really important to know the chords before you start messing, trying to, you know, put in loads of counter melodies, because you are just basing the counter melodies and the what would you call it, polyphonic texture, just purely on where the harmonies were going anyway. So I know that that little guy there, and as well as him and him, are really important at certain stages in this piece. So there's loads of it in the second line or the second phrase. So just bear in mind where those are going to land in your melody. Counter melody, I should have said. Did that the inverted version? Yeah, da da da, maybe da 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 dum. Yeah, that's nice too. Or yeah, it's nice maybe going all the way down. I wouldn't go back up. Okay, so we're aiming for bum. hammering on might be nicer. Da-dum, rather than... Yeah, both nice. So let's see, can I bring that original back and just slow it down a wee bit just so I can accompany it? So now that I've got a good idea of a little bit of a counter melody at the start, just to see, does it work now? Of course, you must always check. You know, it's hard to do it when you don't have a recording or something, you know, or you're not playing the tune. You do need to be sort of accompanying something. So if I just put this back and then just put it down to maybe about, as I say, 70% is where it starts to warp a wee bit. I think it kind of works. Let me just play it again just to be sure. It can be almost like its own little pattern the whole way through because it's so... I wouldn't do it the whole way through. I would introduce, you know, some nice... And sometimes it is built for that little... Dum, almost, if I was to play that on the piano. Dum. Yeah, it's like a D major chord. To get us, it's like the secondary dominant of... Get us back to G. Whoops. And then back up to A. So it's sometimes nice. That's the disastrous thing I was doing last week for anyone who was here trying to do the who was it? Was it Fleetwood Mac? You know, pick up the pieces and go. What was the name of pick up the pieces and go home. Yeah. Yeah, so I can't remember what I was doing, but yeah, that was the lovely little secondary dominant, and it works with any chord that you're doing that shape to. See that shape there? Which in this case is your G power chord. There's the secondary dom. Now, that's going to be right beneath it. If I move this out of the way so you can actually see it. Here is the... That's loud. Obnoxiously loud. That's your G power chord. Now if you were to do this, there's your D, F sharp, D, A. So it's like it's a secondary dominant and it's inverted. It's got the F sharp at the bottom and nearly always wants to go up. So it's a lovely little chord shape to memorize. So anytime you're doing this sort of chord shape here, always remember that its secondary dominant is right underneath it. So goes right up there, and you will be able to put that in into this tune. I'm not going to do it here because I think Olivia has her own chords there, and I don't want to mess that up. I want you guys to hear what she's doing rather than hear what I'm doing. So yeah, that's what the chords that she wants. But I'm just going to slow it down to see, does my counter melody work? That's the thing. I'm just going to loop it as well, way through. I'm going to have to zoom out a wee bit. There we go. That was a good example there, right at the end where she was doing, I think, and I was doing. Those two chords were. Her one is far nicer. See that? That D minor. Oh, it's not D minor. What do you call it? Actually, it is D minor. Yeah, it's much nicer, especially with the wee pinky there. Just. Actually, that would be. I've got two different versions of that now. Okay, so I'm not sure which one. I like the hammer-on one. Da-dum. So that's da, da, da. That's just your normal ba ba bum up at the top here. CBA. Da, 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 da. So you're into the second course when you're hitting that. Back up to the first course. Then back to the second. Da 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 dum. Yeah, I think I like the hammer on. So you just hit that as hard as you can, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets up from. Oops, from the capo. It's a wee bit tricky when the strings are quite tight here, whereas see if that was way down here, it'd be much easier to do hammer-ons when you're, I think, when you're low down, because the strings are very loose. When you're way down the, or even here. Yeah. You can do it there as well, like a variation of it. actually, what was it? Yeah, it comes after the little arpeggio going up. There's another version of it. Do that again. And again. Okay, that's the first time around, a little variation of what I had originally. And then when you're doing the second phrase, now the whole thing. You're doing the hammer-ons up here this time. I'll do that again because I made a mess of it. Can you do a hammer on there? Yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah. So you can see what my practicing's turned into now, guys. Originally it was just trying to find the key and then trying to not only just find the key, but record it as well so I can play along with it, and then maybe having to transpose it and maybe even write it out if I'm going to learn it in tin whistle and teach it to my students. Yeah, and notate it in MuseScore and all that sort of stuff. But this it's kind of either evolved or devolved depending on what way you're viewing it. It's devolved into sort of a counter melody where I'm just focusing in on just those two chords. Okay, our original two chords. Or even you do any variation you want on that. Yeah, so it's just me messing around at this stage. You'll probably find that after you've done, what have we been doing here? Not even an hour and a half, but by the time you hit like 45 minutes, you start to sort of not switch off, but the amount of stuff that you're coming up with begins to decline. So you may want to step away for a while, and then come back to it, after a short break. But that's how my practicing is going to go for all these tunes every week, is that I'm just going to pick a random tune that I want to learn, show you guys how I would go about it, come up with some like a little counter melody here or there. Okay, so for anyone who's interested as well, guys, and just to sort of sign off here, if you go to my website, Top Score Music Academy, you'll find there's loads of freebies if you sign on into the community, and also you can ask questions as well. I'm going to do like a little Q&A here to see if anyone does have any questions. Usually for these ones, practice with me, they don't, but I do have a community Q&A on Wednesday nights, you see, as well. So and that's free. So these are free, and the community Q&A are also free. And if you join the community, you also will get like freebies as well, like recordings and other stuff, and free lesson and all that sort of carry on. So go over to Top Score Music Academy, check me out, and go over to Olivia Barrett's Facebook and check out her album as well, Elsewhere. Great album, and again, loads of great keys to practice in, and train yourself to be able to notice these more unusual tunings, which are, when I say unusual, that it's welcome, because you get bored after a while, playing in the same keys, same 5 keys over and over again. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave it there, guys, and I'll just play out, I suppose, with Olivia in her original tuning, because that is the best. Here we go. I wonder if I could actually get her. Yeah, I'll see if I can get Full Me. Is it Full Me or is it Desktop Me? It's Desktop Me. Okay, so let's see if I can get her performance. Oh, there's Me Infinity. Okay. Here we go. Here's the original. Great tune. There's loads, as you'll see when you go to her Facebook. There's about 300 or 400 of these. So guess what we're going to be doing for the next year? Okay, let's play it through a couple of times. Okay, we'll leave it there, guys. And yeah, if you have any questions, do hang around and feel free to ask me anything that interests you with the. I think I may have lost signal there. Anything that interests you about the bouzouki, or any questions that you have about the bouzouki, you're more than welcome to join in and let me know. I'm also going to check out my Discord just to see, has the Discord been going okay? Okay. Let's see. Oh yes, okay. That's been recording nicely there. Okie doke. Rightio, guys. So yeah, if you do have any questions, let me know. I'm just going to come up with a couple of more things for this, and then I'll probably sort of call it a night after about another 5 minutes of me trying to come up with tunes here. But if there is anything that you're interested in as regards the tuning or the bouzouki playing or any of the apps or stuff that I'm using, do let me know. I'm just going to keep an eye out in our community as well. Okay. Yeah, everything's running a wee bit slow because I'm trying to do like 3 or 4 things at once here. Trying to keep an eye on 2 communities and about 5 different audios and 3 different programs. Okay. Let me see. See if we can get back into our normal bouzouki. There we go. Okay. Zoom in on it just in case anyone's still trying to learn that wee idea. And zoom down. Yeah. Anytime I hit that, that's a mistake. Okay, if you're wondering, that's not meant to be part of it. Forgotten it now. Oh yeah. Okay, let me see if I can now learn it on the whistle a wee bit. Okay, probably need a different camera angle for this, so I'm just going to go back to, let me see the main for a wee sec. See how I zoom out. Okay. Yeah, so for the whistle side of this, it's I'm going to be using the Shush whistle, Shush Pro, Shush, and so it's a softer whistle because the mic that I'll be using for this Shure SMB is a little bit loud. So I'm going to change over a couple of wee things here just to make the whistle a bit easier. So I'm going to take the bouzouki out of the way while I do this, and actually take the capo off before I knock myself out. There we go. Okay, so just let me put this. Okay, that's the bouzouki out of the way. Let's move that forward. Oh, that was another thing. Yes, sorry for forgetting about this, guys. The other thing, what someone was asking, I think it was last week. I don't know if it was in YouTube or Discord or wherever it was. They were saying, how was I playing the piano? You know, while I was recording, It's one of the other things that I have going here is I've plugged in. You know, if you actually let me see the piano camera, it's up here. Okay, so if I move this down, see, move the microphone so it's closer to me, and just bring the Classroom Maestro back up. Okay, so when I'm delivering piano lessons, it's the way I would do it here. So I've got the, you're able to see, the chords and everything as well. So this is an app called Classroom Maestro. Very handy little app to have, guys. And I'd highly recommend, if you're into piano, getting this app. Again, it's the sake of, like, it's as much as what a textbook would have been in the past. You're talking 40 or 50 quid, but the amount of stuff that you can do with this, especially if you've got like a electronic keyboard that you can plug into your computer, it's really, really good. And also you can see if I ever get the lining correctly between the keys, because this is a wee bit wobbly, this. It lights up, of course. Yeah, probably need to push that part in a wee bit more. So Classroom Maestro, very well worth investing in if you're serious about learning the piano. Do you have a look-see at it? It's my favorite, definitely my favorite app for teaching students. Okay. I'm just interested to see how it looks on the stream. So I'm just keeping a wee eye out here just to see what it looks like on the stream. Actually, not too bad. Okay, so yeah, if I was learning that, if I was teaching that to students, this is the app I would use for it. And also you can, of course, put it into any key that you want and, do show scales and intervals and stuff. And the nice thing about it is that it does the analysis for you. So you can think of it as chord 1 or 4, or jazz analysis if you wanted to think of, F major over C. And will it actually let me hear my own piano sounds? I'm not sure what you guys hear. Yeah, but I hear like a nice sort of, almost like a Rhodes. I'll put it back to piano just in case it's not working. Yeah. So there is like a Classroom Maestro would be another one worth investing in. So these are probably the apps that I would say if you're into like sort of learning music online, or you're interested just in apps showing you offline all the different things you can do. Classroom Maestro for piano, reverse chord for guitars and bazookas, Rogue Amoebas, stuff like Hijack Audio or Loopback that I'm using at the moment for a lot of OBS stuff. Like Hijack Audio is really good for just recording your own sounds from your computer. Very handy if you just want to sort of go over something and then use pitch switch to slow it down. That's really, really good. ABRSM, the exam board, also has their own sort of equivalent of all this, that slows down without affecting the pitch. It slows down the tempo or the speed of a piece. So Classroom Maestro is my favorite though, out of all of them, followed closely by reverse chord. Okay, let me go back to desktop so you can see what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so for the tin whistle part of this, I wonder if I need to, probably going to have to turn on, this is Loopback. I was telling you about all the different things I've got going through it. I'm probably going to have to turn on the tin whistle. Oh. And turn off the this audio here. Okay, I probably messed everything up. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm going to put in like a little extra. Yeah, it looks like I need a little bit of extra gain here. So let's let me do that. That's tin whistle audio, filters, and there's nothing added to that. Oh dear. Okay. Why is there nothing added? Let you guys see what I see. Like, this is my OBS if you're interested. Okay, there's me, full video of me, and there's a thing at the desktop, the infinity thing going on. The piano teaching was the one I was showing you a minute ago. Actually, don't need that anymore, so I can actually probably close that down, and maybe even don't even need that anymore. The piano one was what I was showing you guys when I was doing, or sorry, the bouzouki one is what I was showing you guys when I was using reverse chord over here. And yeah, there's also a whiteboard iPad version. But what I'm looking for is tin whistle audio, and I can't believe there's no gain on this. So I'm going to add a little bit of gain, maybe 5 decibels. Okay, you guys can let me know in the recordings as well if this is too loud. I've added 6. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. That looks okay to me. I'm going into the yellow a wee bit when I'm that close to it. I wonder if it picks up my whistle. Okay, it's a wee bit quiet. Okay, let's see. And again, I'll be practicing along with Olivia tuned up because this is now for whistle. So you see all the things that I need to do when I'm learning a piece, for students. I have to learn how to do it for the bouzouki in 2 different tunings, and then have to learn it on tin whistle. Okay, so yeah, I'm still learning it, and you can tell that it's too fast for me. So always the number one rule, guys. And if if you don't have pitch switch or excuse me, or anything remotely resembling these type of things, get yourself a metronome on your phone. You can do this is something else another student was asking, actually, is what software was I using last week for the metronome. I suppose I could show you guys that as well if I go into my little bag of tricks here for it. Yeah, see this true metronome? That was the one I was using. These are the old-fashioned metronomes where you slide this thing up and down and click away. I used to do that when I was uploading tunes to like social media years ago. I stopped doing it and deleted that channel because it was a tick in the background just to keep you in time so students could practice along with me. But over time, I've invested in things like Logic Pro and all the plugins that you can get with that, and put in like a good sort of baron sound or percussive sound in the background. Far nicer than having just the metronome clickety click. But it's better than nothing. So if you don't have like Logic Pro and you don't want to be bothered, just creating your own little backing tracks for every time you want to play a reel or a jig, just get a metronome for your phone. You don't have to get this one. This is just for my computer. So true metronome. Okay, let's slow this bad fella down because it's a wee bit fast for me. Okay, let me see. Why is that not coming through? It should be. Let me check out my little loop back again. Computer audio, it should be coming through, shouldn't it? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can add this in again. For some reason, it's not working very well. Pitch switch, where are you? Maybe it's too loud. Yeah, it's very loud. That's why it's whoa. Okay, cut you in half. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'll do. 86%. Yeah, okay, that'll probably do. That's how we go. Okay. So I immediately now know when I was going through that where I need to put it in a wee bit more practice. It's actually at the variations where I'm messing up most of the time. So remembering that for the first time around, if I really wanted to stick, closely exactly to or as much as possible to what Olivia's playing on the fiddle, is I would try and do the blue stuff first and the red stuff second time round. So if I was to zoom in just on that first line, just to show you what that would look like and sound like. So from this A, da da bum 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 bum, and put a little roll on that long note. And I put a little cran and those three E's next to each other. If you don't know what those are, don't worry. This is all stuff that I teach students who are doing tin whistle. So da da da, E A A B G B A G. So I should be doing this. Da 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 dum. Second time round it would be. It's a very subtle change, but it is a change. Yeah, this is the big one here. Da 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 da. Like a B roll maybe for those three B's. B B B C A G E G. Yeah. B E D B A da 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 dum, and a little scalic idea going upwards, A B C D, and then you're into the second part here, the B section, da 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 da. That's a little bit unusual for me. Maybe that's a bit more standard for fiddle players, like to have those two F sharps in a row like that, going alternating back and forth for the G. It's nice, actually. Usually we would do it as, to slide up to it. I like this sort of difference you can get. That's the fiddle, I think, does it this way. E A F F G F G. Those two bars are a wee bit tricky for the whistle, but it's just alternating fingering. Yeah, the second time around, this bar here is almost the same as this bar, but this bar, because you've got three G's in a row here, it allows you to put in like the long sort of G roll. Da 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 da. Same with the B roll down here. And this is where I was messing up quite a lot. B dee 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 da da dum. Yeah, so it's kind of a nice ending to it as well. Just going to make it a wee bit larger. Okay, this is the B section. I practiced quite a bit. Just this section, it's hard. This one. That's awkward fingering there. Yeah, lovely wee tune. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Hanley's Tweed. Okay, we've only got 4 minutes left, and then that's me. I've got to go. Okay, so I'll just take a wee stock check to see how everyone's doing. If there's anyone still around. So again, thanks guys. If you've been sticking through it, thanks very much, because this is all new to me as well. This is only my second time sort of putting all this stuff through live, and the amount of audio, it is shocking. Like I need to have about, as you guys could probably see from look back, it's not easy on an Apple computer. It's far easier, I think, on Windows computers to do this. But you see, trying to get 20 programs or however many programs I've got, 16 apps here, and that's just one. I have a couple of others added in there as well for Bouzouki and Classroom Maestro, the piano sound, which has gone off. Yeah, this thing here, it's a bit of a technical nightmare. So if there was stuff that wasn't working, this is all just for my benefit, I suppose, for the first couple of weeks. I'll be checking that out anyway if there's any programs that weren't working very well. But if there's anything that you think was too loud or anything I could improve, of course, let me know. Just write in the comments or write in the community. Join the community. When I'm doing lives with my students, it's going through Zoom, and it's 1,000 times easier. But you see, going through YouTube, where you've got to build everything up from scratch, it's a little bit harder. You're just relying on OBS telling you what's going on. Okay, so let me switch off Tin Whistle and switch back to my ordinary computer audio, microphone audio. Yeah. Okay. Let me see for questions. No drop frames, which is nice to see. Okay. Let me see, I could probably turn that off as well. And I could probably give my computer a little bit of a break from all the apps. Okie doke. Okay, so we'll sign it off there, guys. I think just yeah, it's sort of a nice 2 hour mark. So thanks very much for joining in. If you came in at any point, I will obviously go back over all of this just to check all of my audio levels again. I think I got through hopefully most of the problems I was having last week, which was, really really bad. But I think it was working okay this week. So yeah, thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much to Olivia, and yeah, I shall hopefully see some of you guys again next week, same time. Okay, so from 6:15 onwards, and whatever time we can manage to keep going to, 8 o'clock would be the latest I can go to, and I'll see you all again next time.